2 children are dead. Hundreds of cases have been confirmed. And it seems like every day the numbers grow. Today on Delmarva Live, you're going to find out where we stand when it comes to enterovirus, who's most susceptible, and why some parents are now more concerned than ever before.
You know this guy from America's Got Talent and his now estranged wife, but Nick Cannon is also a father of 3-year-old twins. Coming up, he tells us what steps he's taken to keep them healthy, how his own health scare has him on high daddy alert, what he's doing to help his troubled friend Amanda Bynes, and of course the truth behind that much talked about cover-up tattoo.
Well, the truth behind the activities of the former owner of this home lies in these walls. Literally. Angie Hicks from Angie's List uncovers the dangers of living in a meth house and the ways that you can detect if it's been cooked up in your home.
Monday is now becoming one of my favorite days of the week. Delmarva, we need your help once again to put some of our local most wanted behind bars.
Well, bars won't stop these guys, or these guys either. They're in your kitchen, they're in your bathroom, they're around the garbage and the food, and just when you think they're gone, they multiply. We're going to learn the best ways to keep these annoying bugs away.
How many of you just visited or will be visiting a corn maze or pumpkin patch, enjoying all of what this time of year has to offer? Find out what you visitors are called and why the crops are not the only contributor to our local economy.
And how about this for a cash crop? You guessed it, the slimy, stinky stuff that we all try to avoid when we're at the beach could actually be beneficial to our health. Learn the nutritional properties of seaweed and why some shell fishermen might consider harvesting it for our fields.
And I'm hanging out with my new friend Nancy Sterling. We're talking about the Walk to Defeat ALS that's coming up this weekend in Salisbury. We'll tell you how you can get involved.
Delmarva Live starts right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopper. Welcome to Delmarva Live from Historic Studio D.
So should I say Happy Columbus Day?
I told you, is that what you do?
Hey, Happy Columbus Day.
Is it just me, or not as many things are closed as they usually are?
Not like when we were kids, when we got the day off from school. Now I think it's just the post office and the banks and maybe some federal government office
But a
buildings,
bunch of schools are still open. Kids had to go back to school.
Still going to school.
So the teachers, my wife was not too happy about that.
Hey, but something to be happy about. The Orioles are playing tonight. They're taking on the Kansas City Royals at 8:07. I know we're happy about that. The Royals lead the series 2-0, but we're going to turn that around.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
We're going to come to their grounds and say, ha!
Ha!
Just to show you.
Yeah.
So the first case of the flu has arrived in Maryland. According to state health officials, they have confirmed, they did it last week, that an Eastern Shore patient is the first to contract the flu this year. Tests show that it's one of the 3 strains that is covered in this year's vaccine. That's the good news. The first case in Maryland last year was confirmed on October 3rd.
About the same time of year.
year.
So we're protected.
Yes, we are.
We both got our shots. I got my shot right here last week, and getting your flu shot is as easy as driving to the Shorebird Stadium this Thursday or Friday. That's when PRMC will hold its drive-through flu clinic. Vaccinations are available to people 13 years of age or older. You do not need a physician's order. They ask, though, for $10 cash donation if you can give it to them. Now, the drive-through flu clinic is Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days at the Arthur W. Purdue Stadium, not studio. They encourage you to wear short sleeves, and if you want some more information, go to WBOC.com. Click on our picture at the top of the page. You know, those 2 people who had their flu shots.
Flu shots, yeah. Oh, by the way, while we're talking health.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. I could watch that all day. It's been a few months since the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge took the country and internet by storm.
You probably remember Delmarva Live Sean Stryker taking the challenge with some of the folks from Peninsula Regional Medical Center, the local ALS chapter. Now, in the challenge, participants would dump a bucket of ice water on their head and then challenge others to do the same. Over $10 million was raised, as was awareness for ALS.
Now, just because everyone seems to have already taken the Ice Bucket Challenge doesn't mean the fundraising stops.
Absolutely not. This weekend is the ALS Awareness Walk in Salisbury. Sean joins us now from the home of a local ALS patient who just so happens to be one of the walk's biggest fundraisers.
Yeah, that's right, Jimmy and Lisa. I'm out here with Sherry Singer, who's with the local ALS chapter, and Nancy Sterling. Now, Nancy was diagnosed with ALS in 2007, and even though she has lost her ability to speak, she still remains a huge advocate for the disease and is a... I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm sorry. They're going to fire me. They're going to fire me. They're going to fire me.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
I get rid of you first. You move over this way just a hair. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And roll it.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's right, Jimmy and Lisa. I'm out here with Sherry Singer, who's with the local ALS chapter, as well as Nancy Sterling. Now, Nancy was diagnosed with ALS in 2007, and even though she has lost her ability to speak, she still remains a huge advocate for the disease and is a huge fundraiser for the local walk. Now, Nancy, first and foremost, I want to ask you, what did you think of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? People
The
dumping
Ice Bucket Challenge is wonderful. It brought in a lot of money and raised awareness for ALS. Many people had never heard of ALS before the challenge. Now almost everybody knows about ALS, and many of them dumped ice water on their heads for us. Now there is a movie in the theaters about a lady who has ALS. It's called You're Not Yourself. That, right after the Ice Bucket Challenge, should make people aware of the problems that we face.
Well, raising awareness for those problems is what the Ice Bucket Challenge was meant to do, and Sherry and I actually took the Ice Bucket Challenge together. Now, Nancy, you were telling me to raise money, you send emails out to all of your contacts, you get in touch with previous business partners. You also utilize social media, Facebook.
Even though I am not on Facebook, a friend put my fundraising request on her page, and I received donations from people who saw it and know me. Social media is a great help in fundraising. This year, Jen C. Campbell, our walk photographer, put the link to my walk page on her Facebook. And the donations keep coming in from people I don't even know.
Well, that's awesome. People you don't even know are donating. Now, Sherry, that walk that's coming up this weekend, it's a great event.
It's an amazing event. It supports the DC, Maryland, Virginia chapter, which depends on all the walk monies to be able to provide patient care services for people right here on the Eastern Shore. Things like medical equipment, help with transportation, help with communication equipment, things like that.
So when is that walk?
It is this Saturday, October the 18th. At Winter Place Park. Registration starts at 12 o'clock, so you could just show up, even if you haven't registered ahead of time, and the walk starts at 1 o'clock.
So you just show up to register, no need to do it in advance?
No, not at all. Come and join us. It's a great time.
And Nancy was telling us the weather is supposed to be nice. She was watching the weather this morning, and so she said about 73 and sunny. Now, if you want more information on the ALS walk or ALS in general, you can visit our website, wboc.com, and click on our picture at the top of the page. Jimmy and Lisa, back to you guys.
What a beautiful smile. What
I
a
was
great
just going to say
story.
the same thing. What a terrific smile.
Yeah.
Considering the circumstances, you got to help. You got to help. Well, despite a cold, drizzly, windy Saturday in Crisfield, it was still a relatively good turnout for the inaugural Crisfield Outdoor Expo. If you're a Duck Dynasty fan, then you know Godwin. Yeah. John Godwin spoke to 400 or 500 people, answered a few questions about the show and his fellow characters, demonstrated some duck calls as well. He also, I got to say this, he also gave a personal testimony about his life, how it's changed, and how he gives God the credit for that. An absolutely incredible time spent with him. The second annual Crisfield Outdoor Expo dates should be announced soon, so clear the calendar. It's going to be a good time.
And you were there.
I was there.
And you had a good time.
Had a chance to talk to him, his wife Paula.
Yeah.
Wonderful people, and a tent full of great folks.
Yeah,
It
good
was a lot of
time.
fun.
Do you recommend it for next year?
Absolutely.
All
Clear
right.
County.
Well, speaking of outdoors, if you're a deer hunter, muzzleloader season opens on Thursday. Now, to control the population, you can harvest 3 Sika. Now, the early season runs through Saturday, and you can harvest antlerless only deer from October 20th through the 25th.
And that, of course, is just the first segment of the deer hunting season. So, just in case you happen to attend the Smyrna at Night over the summer, the second one is coming up Thursday. The first Smyrna at Night was over the summer, single night of all genres of music downtown to remind everyone that there's plenty to do there. There was only one problem there that apparently they got a lot of complaints about. There was no country music. So an evening of line dancing, barbecue, and up-and-coming Nashville star, the Adam Craig Band, will perform this Thursday. Concerned that the evening sounded too similar to the first one, they decided to scale it back a little bit. From the large street party idea, they came up with a more intimate, family-friendly night. So Smyrna at Night coming up on Thursday.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we got an email last week from our good friend George Jackson of American Corner. He said it's finally going to happen. The groundbreaking for the new Dover Bridge is tomorrow afternoon. Now, George has led the charge to get the bridge replaced, and the groundbreaking is going to happen Tuesday at 1 p.m. there between Caroline and Talbot County.
Be there and smile at George. He'll be happy to see
Yeah.
it. Now, in case you've never ventured far enough north to visit Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square's East Conservatory Plaza, you got a good reason now. The most visited public garden in the nation is poised to win another distinction, America's Best Restroom, a 4,000 square foot plus green wall of ferns and vines, the largest in North America, frames 17 domed restroom pods outfitted with motion activated faucets, low flow toilets, etched translucent glass to let in natural light. You can find a link to the 13th annual online survey on our website, wboc.com. Just click on the picture at the top of the page.
Oh, wow.
Also, what did you do over the weekend? Some watched the game, some did a little yard work, and then there were a few that decided to play with the raccoon.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
backyard.
with a hose.
Yeah, with a hose.
I was going to do that, but couldn't
It's
find a
video games
raccoon.
when you got a raccoon and a hose.
Well, one pest that I know I want to get rid of are these little buggers, fruit flies. I hate them. Are they driving you crazy yet? We'll have a simple solution for you to get rid of them for good.
And it's not just fruit flies. All types of creepy crawlers can make their way into your home this time of year, from house flies to crickets, even stink bugs. You're going to find out how to debug your home.
And we're also doing our part to rid Delmarva streets of fugitives. You can help too. See if you recognize anyone on our Most Wanted Monday.
Coming up next, would you be able to recognize the enterovirus D68 if your child came down with it? The sickness has already killed 2 children. What parents need to know to keep their loved ones healthy.
And this man does all he can to keep his little ones from getting sick. Entertainer Nick Cannon joins us with a personal story. Plus, he even weighs in on that much talked about new tattoo. Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. Your local York and LG dealers, and State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.